are we? Can nobody hear me?
Yeah.
We're good, Randy. How are you?
When did
Yes,
you get
we
a
can hear
haircut?
Good.
When did you get that haircut?
It's been cut for a while, you know.
Really?
It's growing out now.
Jeez.
Yeah, I couldn't be a cool hippie like you, Gary.
Hey. So we do have an agenda to follow here today, and we're going to start with agent recognition. And I want to start before I give it to Michaela for a couple of agent awards. I want to recognize Martha Sally, who is actually going to be quoted in Better Homes and Gardens magazine's next edition. Is Martha on the call? I don't see her. Anyway, she a year ago or so, the BH&G, the magazine, reached out to do an article on ADUs, and somehow it fell in to Martha's lap to be asked questions about ADUs and their impact on the market and so forth and so on. And then, a year and a half passes, and all of a sudden they're going to publish the article. So she'll be quoted in the magazine. And so in the process of learning this and congratulating her, I learned too that she had headed up an organization that raised money for the awareness of Hep C. And she sent me a picture of she and Dwayne Allman of the Allman Brothers Band from a concert back in the 90s at the Beacon Theater in New York, where they always had a month where they were in residence and played. And they had a fundraiser for her organization, and I think there was one other organization, but she helped raise $75,000 from that event for awareness of Hep C. And then she went down the next day to Washington and had lunch with President Obama. So lots of fun. Didn't know all that about Martha. She said she liked the Allman Brothers concert better than the lunch with Obama, but that's the way it goes. So congratulations to Martha, and Michaela has a couple of things she wants to share. So carry it away.
Hello, guys. Good morning and happy Friday. I did want to go over January's Agent of the Month. So let me just present my screen for a second. Okay. Okay, can you guys see my screen okay?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. So yeah, I'm very excited to kind of go over January.
It's black right now.
Oh, you guys can't see it?
I can.
I can see it.
Okay. So just a little reminder of what Agent of the Month is. We do this raffle. Sorry, what was that, Gary?
Oh, go ahead. It may be my internet connection. There you go. Now I see it.
Okay. Just as a reminder of what Agent of the Month is, we do this drawing every month, and there's a bunch of ways how you guys can get entries. Signing up for floor time, getting a new listing or sale contract, closing an escrow, hosting or representing us at a community event, and sharing and commenting on Wine Country Group social media content. And what do you get if you win this raffle? So if whoever is drawn of each month will get $250 in marketing credit. We'll get a spotlight across all of our social media platforms, as well as a Better Homes and Gardens little goodie bag. And just to kind of go over some of the January entries, we had a total of 270 entries. Out of those entries, 134 were for floor shifts. So love to see the guys signing up for floor. We had 40 new listings, 58 new sales, 45 closed estros, and sadly 0 hosted events. So guys, get out there, represent us, represent the community. And a shout out to Parmita for having the most social comments, and Jessica for having the most social shares. So thank you guys. Thank you for everyone who participated. And drum roll, please. Very excited to announce the winner is Mary Giblin. Mary
Hey,
is an absolute rock.
Mary.
She signed up for floor time 21 times this month. She also had 5 closed escrows in the month of January, 3 new listings, and 6 new sales. So she really killed it this month. So again, congratulations to Mary.
Congratulations, Mary.
There you go, Mary.
So again, I just want to thank all of the agents for participating in our Agent of the Month, getting those entries, getting those sales. So thank you to all of you guys. You guys are absolute rock stars. So thank you.
And were you going to talk about the Valentine's Day thing, or?
Yes. So as you guys know, our Valentine's Day giveaway ended today. So I am very, very excited to announce our winners for that. And another drum roll, the Ramos team. They won the Valentine's Day giveaway. They got us 15 entries from their clients. They got 15 clients to comment and interact with us on social media. So they're rock stars. They post on their social media. They reached out to their clients. So thank you to the Ramos team for getting us those entries. Very, very exciting. This was a really great giveaway. We had a total of 81 entries. So that was 81 clients interacting with us on social media. So that was just kind of great to see. And I think it was very exciting for your clients to kind of enter that giveaway, and very exciting for one of those clients to win $200 to a restaurant of their choice for Valentine's Day dinner. So it was very great. Thank you guys for everyone who participated and posted on social. I really appreciate it. So congrats to the Ramos team.
I see Cameron there. Well done, Cameron. Speaking of community events, the Sonoma office has traditionally done a year beginning shredding event for our clients. And Michaela's gotten to work scheduling that. And I think we've targeted March 12th.
Yes, that is correct. So it will be on
Saturday?
March 12th. Yes, it's a Saturday. So March 12th, Saturday from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. I will be sending out a flyer and an email with more information on Monday.
Right. And it's not limited to just the Sonoma agents. All of you can send it out to your clients if they want to mosey down to Sonoma for the day and shred their old tax returns and other shreddable materials. They're welcome to come down and spend the day on the plaza and spend money in Sonoma. So that's all good. Let's see, some marketing announcements. Is Haley on?
Yeah, Haley had a doctor's appointment this morning.
You're making the marketing announcements?
No, I'm not making a marketing announcement.
I can make the announcement. I know one of the announcements Haley really wanted to make is that we will be sending out a little save the date for our award ceremony. So our award ceremony will be on Saturday, March 5th. So please mark that in your guys' calendars, save the dates, and more information on that will be coming soon.
And do you have the location in that, Michaela?
Yeah, that will all be coming soon. We just wanted to give you guys to save the date. Just it's the March 5th. Get that in your calendars, and we'll be sending out an invitation with more details coming soon.
Do we know the time of the event?
I do not. I think Haley would know that. So sorry. Hopefully when she gets back on, we'll be sending out emails and communications about that.
Okay, great.
It is, I talked to Haley about it yesterday. It is evening, like dinner and dancing.
Oh, wow. Cool.
That's
Yeah,
what
so
I hear.
It's going to be a kicking event there, gang.
Yeah.
Yes, and there's a lot of award winners, so we're very excited about that from all of our offices. So be there or be square.
Good. Education, Heather, since you had the latest information.
Okay, let's see. Education. I sent out an email with all the education, upcoming education for this month and next. There are a lot of little, like 1.5 hour things on Greenhouse this month for basically all of their small tools like Social Tool, BHG Moves, Text BHGRE. So if you want, it doesn't, it's not a lot of time. I wish I had it in front of me. We're going to be doing a follow-up to the business planning course, where it's going to be in Sonoma on March 5th. Is that right? Same day as our celebration, I guess, but in the morning, and we'll live stream that. So if you came to that, or even if you didn't and you want, we're going to break down what, your day-to-day steps. So you've made your big goals in business planning. Now here are, how to break down your action steps to what you need to do every day and every week. Also the NORBAR is offering the PSA, which is the Pricing Strategy Advisor certification. That's February 23rd, I think. I took that when I first became an agent, and it gives you a ton of confidence and real helps you understand and real clarity on, pricing it, which is it's always a challenge, but I think it's even more challenging right now. So those are the main ones coming up.
What was the certification called again?
It's Pricing Strategy Advisor.
And is that a live event or a streamed event?
It is. Oh, it's streamed through. It's put on by NORBAR. You can sign up on their website. But yeah, it'll be streamed live, though it's not recorded.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Great.
Well,
And,
some of us will be at Fusion at that time. And remember, you can
Yes.
still sign up for Fusion. Very excited about slowly seeing more people come. It's going to be a great educational experience besides a lot of fun. So
Yeah.
try to make it.
Yeah, more education than you than you can get in a month is all packed into that 1 week. It's a really great opportunity to learn brand stuff and get inspired for your business. So if you can be at Fusion, I highly recommend.
Yeah, I tapped into educational leadership webinar the other day. And the one thing I took out of it was the speaker sets aside 1 hour a day to read, study, and think. So I think it's a good practice. I start the morning with a journal and reading, and it probably does stretch into an hour by the time I'm done with it all over a cup of coffee. But yes, set an hour a day aside sometime to read, study, and think. It'll renew you every day. Okay, Deanna has pulled together a market forecast to present to us, and I'll turn it over to Deanna.
Good morning, everyone. I came across this presentation through a gentleman by the name of Barry Habib, which you may or may not know, but he is the owner and operates MBS Highway, which is mortgage-backed securities for us. And so I thought this was perfect information to give you some history about the mortgage market and how it kind of operates in an easier way. So I'm going to share my screen somehow. Gary, how do I do this?
You go down to the bottom and there should be a green button that says share screen.
Yeah, I don't have that.
It could be on the top, Deanna. So most of the time it's on the bottom, but sometimes it, depending on how your system's set up.
It should be kind of where your mute button would be on that control
Oh,
panel.
you know what? Yeah, I had to make my screen smaller. That's what it was, I think. So, no. Share screen. Got it. Let's see if I can make this work for you.
There we are. You got it.
Can you see it?
Yeah.
Okay, do you see market forecast 2022?
Right. You might want to toggle that to full screen so you don't see the slides, but that's up to you if you know what to do.
Toggle to full
If not,
screen.
it looks fine.
Can you tell how often I use this?
Never mind. Go ahead and use it that way. It'll be fine.
Okay, good. All right, so we are going to do slideshow. Let's go there. So this market forecast is going to do some history for us first. And this may or may not be 100% accurate, but it's going to give you some good starting points and mainly information to give to your clients. So let's do a recap of 2021 first. So where interest rates were, the forecast is that they were expected rates to rise beginning of the year and recover into the fall. Actually, what happened is rates did rise sharply in March. Now, this is 2021, not 2022, when everyone was sent home. And they recovered. They were expected, they gained back some of the losses that they had late summer. Now, the housing industry, though, the forecast was a strong demand, tight supply, and would push home prices up by single-digit percentages. However, we all know that that's not what happened. There was a strong demand and tight supply, and COVID caused a huge supply chain disruption, labor shortages, and it pushed real estate values even higher than we actually could even consider. So good news on that front for all of you realtors. Now here's 2022 dynamics. The Fed is going to play a major role in this. And as you all know, the Feds are all over the news right now. They talk about tapering, rate hikes, balance sheet runoff. Okay, so what tapering actually means is that the Feds are going to buy less of mortgage-backed securities. And they have been saying for months now that they're going to raise rates. Now, what they're talking about is the Fed funds rate, which is the cost of money, not interest rates. They are separate, but they do go hand in hand. And then the balance sheet runoff. Now, what that means is that there's a possibility that they may not reinvest the mortgage bonds as they pay off, meaning when you pay off your mortgage or you pay some principal down on your mortgage, those funds are going to be reinvested. Well, the Feds have a decision to make, whether they're going to do that or not. So if they run off their balance sheet, it means that they're not going to reinvest, and it means the market, the stock market is going to be in a tizzy. There are other words we could use, but I'm going to keep it as clean as possible for you today. Fighting inflation is going to be the main focus. It's a negative stock market reaction could cause the Feds to lose their resolve, meaning that they may get a little freaked out, they may not do it, or that they may do it. So that is a big shift that we're having at the moment. The idea is that the Fed should have raised rates sooner. And when they have continued to say that inflation has been transitory, at some point it's not transitory anymore. And that's what we're going to get into, is because the history will help us kind of get an idea of how the Feds will react for 2022. So those of us that do remember history is Arthur Burns. He was the Fed chair in 1970. He did ignore inflation, and it was rising really, really rapid. They insisted that inflation would be transitory. So back in the 70s, we've had this happen. And year over year, inflation ballooned from 7% in 1978 to 14% by the time he left in 1980. Burns he was hell-bent on saying this is transient, it's transitory. Well, we ended up with higher inflation, and what that did to cause interest rates to rise from 12 to 18. Now, some of you remember this, I know that you do. 18%, you know, that's when people were paying points, a ton of points, to get into the 12s. Now, after that was Paul Volcker. Paul Volcker in 1980 decided that he's going to fight inflation. So he hiked federal funds rate from 11% to 20% in 2 years. Now, remember, our Fed funds rate right now is at 0. So these numbers are really, really different. Inflation dropped at that point from 14 to 5, which is a big difference. And because inflation dropped, mortgage rates sharply declined from 18 to 12. Now, you may not think that 12, is anything to that, we should be shooting for. I'm not saying that, but back then 12 was a big difference between 18. Now, here's what the consequences were. The S&P 500 sharply declined by 30% during that time, and money got tighter. The policies, we ended up in a recession in 1982. Now, we have gone through several recessions. So I know that sometimes is a scary word, but it does happen. Let's see, fighting, okay. And then, we had Alan Greenspan in the late 1990s. Inflation doubled from 1.75 to 3.5. We had higher inflation. It caused interest rates to rise from 7 to 8.5. Unlike Burns, Greenspan took action in the mid-1999, which is 22 years ago, hiked Fed funds rate from 1.75 and matching the rise in inflation from 4.75 to 6.5 in a year. Now, it sounds like a lot, and it is a lot, but the reason why he did that is because inflation responded and dropped from 3.5 to 1% inflation. So Alan Greenspan was a great guy. He knew how to forward think. Mortgage rates dropped from 8.5 to 5.5, sparking another huge refi boom back then. In fact, I bought my first house in 95, 96, and I remember getting an interest rate of about 5. So the consequences back then is that the S&P 500 fell 50% from the spring to the fall of 2000, which was only a few months. And then we entered another recession in 2001. Now we have Jerome Powell. And Jerome Powell, in 2021, inflation increased from 1.75 to 7. And remember, this is his second term. And he has said over and over again that this inflation is transitory. Now, we've heard that since the 70s. We have higher inflation cause interest rates to rise now from 2.5 to 3 3/8. Now, this was written in December. As of today, we're actually a little bit higher than that, but it's close. Fed is currently tapering their purchases of mortgage bonds and treasuries and will not hike. They won't do purchases and reductions at the same time. And there's a reason for that. You can't do all of it at once. So when they're done tapering, we think will be around March. There's probably going to likely be a Fed funds rate somewhere around April or May. May is around their next meeting time, so it's kind of a good idea for them to do it at that point. The Fed is targeting 3 rate hikes in 2022 and maybe 2 or 3 in 2023. Inflation and interest rates can still rise until the Fed acts. So as of right now, February, I think we're going to see a rise. And if the Fed's contain inflation, mortgage rates should drop, but it's going to be from higher levels, if that makes any sense. Now, I want you to see there's a pattern here. So Fed Chair Burns and Volcker. So Volcker, the inflation was 7 to 14%. Mortgage rates were 12 to 18. Fed fund rates were 11 to 20. Inflation response 14 to 5. Mortgage rates 18 to 12%. The consequences is we had a recession of 30%. Greenspan, inflation 1.75 to 3.5. Mortgage rates 7 to 8.5%. When you want that right now, no. Fed funds rate 4.75 to 6.5. Remember, we're at 1 right now, or actually 0. Inflation response is 3.5 to 1. Mortgage rates, we were at 8.5 to 5.5. We were into recession and by 50%, the S&P was down. Jerome Powell, inflation 1.75 to 7. Right now we're at 7. Mortgage rates 2.5 to 3/8. Right now we're closer to 4. Fed funds rate, we're going to go somewhere between 0 and 1 because they're talking about maybe a 0.5 point in May. April or May. The response is that the inflation should drop, kind of like it did in our history. Mortgage rates, we should probably see a decline as inflation declines. Right now, as we all know, stocks are very expensive. The economy is slowing. So we may not see as much growth, but we do have wild cards. COVID played a major role in our monetary policy and supply chains. The outlook, we don't necessarily know how the outlook's necessarily going to be, but people are now vaccinated. They're not getting sick, so hopefully things are going to shift. Additional stimuluses is that we've pushed stock prices temporarily higher, which is good. Cause mortgage rates to rise a little bit more, and makes the Fed's job corralling the inflation a little more difficult as far as timing is concerned. Now, the runoff of the balance sheet is a big deal. First step is that the Fed to stop purchasing new mortgage bonds and treasuries. Next step is hiking the Fed funds rate. Fed needs to still continue buying $70 billion in mortgage bonds throughout reinvestment to keep interest rates low. If and when the Fed stops reinvestment, the mortgage rates could move higher as previously thought. Now, stock market, as we know, is very overvalued. It's oversold. Now, that's good for our stock portfolios, but good things do come to an end sometimes. So our forecast, or their forecast, and I've heard this from many different people, not just Barry, but a lot of investors or investor advisors that I talk to. We do think there's going to be at least a 10% decline in those indexes in 2022. So here's the interest rate forecast. We anticipate mortgage rates to rise, which is kind of where we are right now in the first part of the year. Fed action, softer market, and slower economic conditions. Interest rates should head lower on a second part of the year. So we think they're going to head towards about a 3%, maybe 3.25%. It's not that far off from where we are right now, but a half a point, yes or no. So we think there will be a decline in the second half as interest rates. And I think that could be my last. Here we go. Oh, so this is good for you guys. The housing demand will remain strong in 2022. Probably not as strong as 2021, mainly because the interest rates are rising. So it kind of freaks people out. Demand may be a little softer due to the rise, but still robust. Supply chain is going to remain tight. We have tight labor. We have supply chain disruptions, semiconductor shortages, which we need those little chips to make your refrigerators, your appliances, cars. Those chips are everywhere. So that is going to be a big deal. Rates will continue to rise by about 5%. And this is going to push people to continue to see the benefit in buying. We think that the appreciation is going to be somewhere around the single digits. It's still providing a good wealth opportunity for your clients to buy now. And with that, I will turn it back to Gary.
Great. Thank you. That's very comprehensive. If you want to stop sharing, we'll get back to photos. That'd be great.
Real quick, I'd like to bring something up based on what we just saw. I read an article, and I'll have Rachel send it to all of our agents today, in regards that now's the time to sell, and there's such a lack of inventory. Your clients that are waiting until April, May to put their homes on the market, even March, could be really missing the mark. The predictions for appreciation in homes in California is around 5%. So again, with a lack of inventory, we're seeing a real jump in the market. But we know what interest rates are right now, and they're still good. As Deanna had talked about, 18%. I was 19 years old and bought my first condo in Sacramento when those rates were that high. I got somebody to do subject to, and got them to carry a second, so I wasn't paying that high. But anyways, it's an opportune time to get out to your SOI and try to get those listings and show them why it's really important that not to wait until the spring to pull the trigger now. So keep that in mind. That article that Rachel will send you has some really good information that you can use with your clients, and see if you can get them to pull the trigger. So thanks, Gary.
Okay, we can move on to have ones, and I hope you all saw that Haley created a real-time have once worksheet that you can put your haves and once on and share throughout the company. So we'll have her update that again, but if you save that as a link and you don't save it on the computer, just save it as a link to the file, because the file is real time and it's changing all the time as haves come and go and wants come and go and so forth. So, but who wants to share? I have our one, and I do want to say we got a transaction out of this sharing 2 weeks ago. Heather and Dan put a transaction together from Dan announcing the property he had and Heather having a buyer. So this stuff really works if you do it, right? There's Dan.
Exactly. Whoops. Where'd you go?
So anybody got a listing coming up they want to talk about and sell early?
Heather, I know you do.
Go ahead, Heather.
Okay, I've got 131 Vineyard Circle in Sonoma, and I don't know price yet, but it's gonna need updates. It's a cute little place in good condition, and it'll be coming on the market in March. So if you have anybody that wants that neighborhood, let me know. I also have a really cute place coming up on Monroe Street in Santa Rosa. It's right in that historical McDonald neighborhood. And the owner is completely redoing it, new flooring, plumbing, electrical, and she's going to have it furnished. She wants to sell it furnished. So, it'd probably be a really easy vacation rental if someone's thinking about something like that. So, and I don't know the price on that one either. I have to haven't looked lately, but if you got somebody for that, let me know.
Cheryl, I see you have your hand up.
Hi. Usually I say nothing on here, but I've got a few listings that need to really get sold now. I've got the large lakefront one that's got 3 living quarters, a duplex and a large lakefront home for 2.25 million. I'm getting the listing extended till summer, and I'm trying to talk her into bringing it down a little, but she's not real interested in it. She's got time to wait, she thinks. So the seller's 90 years old though, so I don't know how much time she does. I have a lakefront on Lakeshore Drive in Clear Lake. It's an REO. It's at 394.95 right now, and got a huge lot. Needs to be remodeled and updated. And then I'm going to list something today in Kelseyville. It's on 3.25 acres. It's a manufactured home that's really rough. It has holes in the walls. Can't finance, no foundation. It's a 74, but it's good size. But the lot is really nice. It's got a barn. It used to be horse property. It's on the creek, on Kelsey Creek, and the land is worth every penny of what I'm probably going to list it for, around 260. And it's an REO, so it needs a cash offer. And I'm going to put it in today, and lots of people are probably going to be interested in it at that price. So if anybody's got anybody interested, put some offers in, some high offers in today, or as soon as you can. And that's about it for the moment.
Great. How is the lake level up there? Last time I was up there, it was pretty low. Did the rains fill it up at all?
It's coming up a little bit, but it's not up to par. My lakefront house, the dock is so high off the ground because there's no water under it. So I was afraid to even go out there on it. I looked down, I was like, whoa.
All right, well, we need more rain.
Yeah.
Who's
Other upcoming listings? Don't be shy. Oh, Nancy.
Go ahead, Nancy.
Hi guys, Jana and we have an upcoming listing, hopefully within the next 2 weeks in Runa Park on M section on Mary Street. The sellers are looking at $599.99. 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom, 1,442 square footage, built in 1991. So that should be coming up soon.
Yeah, Rohnert Park was down to like 8 units in inventory at the end of last month. It's crazy. Anyone else? Listings? Leo, you got something coming up? Leo's busy on his phone.
Don't be shy, gang. Yeah, Sarah, look at Sarah. She looks like she's in a very important conversation. I love this part of Zoom. I have to always be a brat. I think she's just modeling for us now, the way she's holding her phone. Any other upcoming listings? Buyers need everything. You've looked at everything in the market. You can't find it.
Mari's got her hand up.
Hi, I have 3 listings that will be coming up sometime in this first quarter, but not in the next few weeks. But one is a very nice house in Temelec, and it's a 3-bedroom, 2-bath. It'll probably be around mid-7s. It has a very nice yard. Another one is a condo in town in Sonoma, small. And I don't have a price on that yet. And then the other one is going to be a 3-bedroom, 2-bath house in Napa. And that we think is going to probably go on the market in March, but we still need to get a tenant out. But I just want to give you guys a heads up. Those are all coming.
Great.
For what it's worth.
Anything else for the good? Nobody else has any upcoming listings? Anything good? Anything exciting?
Hey,
It's
Randy.
beautiful outside.
Hey, Randy, it's Pam. I have a buyer's need.
Okay.
I have a first-time buyer who, she's my daughter's age. They went to school together, and she's saved a good amount of money and also may not need a loan. She really wants a fixer. Her father is very intelligent and knows almost everything about everything, and is looking for a retirement project. And she wants to learn how to take care of a house by restoring a house. So I have her search set up to 600,000, but everything's pretty spiffed out. We looked at the one on B Street, but it really didn't have things she wanted, like sunny backyard for growing things. And so I have this buyer, and I have a mobile home buyer, average space rent, not this over $1,000 thing, or own the land, all cash, really doesn't want a fixer, a cosmetic updater. Then I have another buyer who just wants a good sound house, up to 650, decent square footage, and it doesn't have to be updated. It just has to be sound. And that would be anywhere in the Santa Rosa area, pretty much. So,
Pam, can your first buyer go over 600?
It would depend. It would depend. I have her search set up to 600 because she was thinking spring, and I thought, well, let's just get you educated and with what the market has to offer and what things sell for and so forth. What do you got?
Well, Ann Conger has a listing on Mays Canyon that is higher than that, but it's definitely a fixer. And I know that Lori Paris, but that's going way high. I'm just thinking of if the dad's really interested in retiring off of West Sexton Road, she's got something that could really be a nice home, but it's currently at 750. So, but they're both properties that need work.
Right. the thing is, she just doesn't need a whole lot of square footage.
Mhm.
It can be a small cozy house. She's more interested in having a little yard. She'd like to get a dog. She'd like to have room for the dog. She'd like to grow some plants. Actually, you know, if that B Street listing had more sun, she might have gone for that. I mean, it had mold, and the father was just like, we can deal with that. You know, I mean, so, and she's also expanded her search to all over the area, excluding Sonoma. It's a little too far for her work. So,
All righty, good. Any help for Pam?
they're tough. I know, they're all tough.
Julie's got her hand up. What do you got, Julie?
Well, it's not a coming soon. It's an active now. In Windsor, I have my mobile home. It's up for sale for $69,500. It's a little bit slow right now, so I just wanted to put it out there because I would love to get my seller an offer that we can work with here. It's a cute place. It's a 2-bedroom, 1 bath, about a little over 1,000. I think it's like 1,040 square feet, and it's in a senior mobile home park. The rent is $820 a month for the space rent, just under $820 a month. And so if anyone has some seniors looking for a very well-priced mobile home unit, I would love to keep it, you know, in-house if we could.
Yeah, I think my buyer would like to have that model that's more like 1,440 square feet. So I think she needs a little more space than that. I know that she's an artist and she'd actually like 3 bedrooms, but they're tough to find. But thank you.
Yeah, I was just saying it for anybody out there because I know yours wants something that's updated and mine is not updated, unfortunately. But we priced it low to kind of counteract that. Plenty of plenty of room in there for someone to come in and remodel with
Well, I'll keep
a
my
little bit
ears
of money.
open.
Great. Julie K put a note in the chat. She's there's a new program for first-time home buyers, offers 2% down payment funds, forgivable second, and a fixed rate first in the 3% range. So if you have first-time buyers, contact Julie or Cameron for the details. And Deanna probably has that loan program too, I would guess.
Right.
Okay. We will follow this meeting at 11 o'clock with contract and tech training. I've got a lot of contract stuff, title and easements, the RPA, paragraph Q7. We're going to cover document delivery, sellers doing work after close of escrow on the house, cancellation, proper cancellation documents, and satisfying judgments. We've had an issue come up around judgments this week. So, and Heather, what do you have on tap for tech?
Gonna take a look at the BHG social tool. So if you want to get do some more social posts, there's lots of good content there.
Okay, right. So we'll log off this meeting and then log back on with the same link at 11 o'clock if you want to attend contract and tech, okay?
Have a wonderful weekend, everybody, and glad to see so many people on the Zoom today. So go get them. Lots going on and it's all good. Amy,
Okay.
I'll see you and Trudy and Cameron in just a little bit.
Bye, everybody.
See you all later. Bye-bye.